Hello there everyone and welcome back. I think I want to play more with the lance-based type of fleet since I feel like that one loss, especially at the end there, should have been a victory if I had better awareness and all that. But otherwise there seems like there was some promise, but we will now mix it up just for the sake of interest to keep things entertaining and probably commit suicide in the process, for we are bringing all 6 slaughters to this fight. And there are going to be a little more problems with this fleet just because they're cruisers and not battle cruisers. That's important to note since my engines are going to suffer critical hits that much more frequently, and they require to be that much more closer, but they have one very subtle benefit in the ridiculous amount of speed that could have hidden potential for the ship. It's just a question on how the hell to utilize it. And I'm thinking I might experiment with 2 separate groups of slaughters to try and harass and avoid direct confrontation. Since, in all seriousness, I don't expect these ships to kind of get away with a close-up fight when they don't have torpedoes, when they don't have heavy armor on the prow to absorb damage, to at least encourage ramming. And it's hard to tell how its damage potential is, but I want to assume it's similar to that of the Carnage, because these merged macro batteries, it only states what the macro turrets or macro cannons here do, but keep in mind, they also have a lance turret on it, and while I could have easily checked this beforehand, so I could be entirely wrong, but I'm pretty certain these have the same stats as every other lances. The exception, of course, being they fire faster, I think the 3 seconds as well, and they have the same range as all these macro cannons. It's impossible to tell firsthand because of course the stat page is not really helpful for that weapon battery. So I still want to argue mathematically the Carnages are better on the damage front just because of the additional range they have. That's a big factor as well. If a close range confrontation is not recommended or just not possible due to some of these matchups. Whereas the Slaughter, there's only one range that they can commit to doing damage, and that's up in their face, with maybe a little bit of freedom if I go with lock-on stance. We'll see how we do though. Oh god, it's happening again. We're starting off with a Chaos Mirror match. This might be a little more interesting because we're face off against Nurgle as well, and they want a closer range engagement. Assuming my opponent has access to the level 10 Swarm Cloud, or the Locust Cloud, which I don't recognize the name. It's entirely possible that they're a newer player. So maybe first impressions, I got this going for me. So this is going to be interesting. Oh, we're getting a bit of frames hitching. I don't know what the hell happened there. Is there anything running in my background? I apologize for alt tabbing. That is a bit unusual. I won't lie. And I think I want to separate these two as well. I have been prone to getting my cruisers killed off, or frigates rather, when I don't wish them to. Otherwise, this is the strategy I have in mind. I just don't know how practical it is because it can backfire so amazingly well. I want to have 2 separate groups and try and flank and harass, kind of like an Eldari basically. Although Eldari have the convenience of Wraithbone Shift, False Maneuver, and in the case of Drukhari and Corsairs, complete invisibility. So I don't know if this is practical, but we gotta start somewhere, right? I may actually make it a several video endeavor trying to figure this out, or at least prepare for it. And I do have a mission anticipator, so everything's free to boost right off the bat. And I thought my opponent was ready there, so we'll be left in suspense a bit more. I mean, and then otherwise, it's a question of the other upgrades and skills. Because, hell, most of the time I would argue I may not even need the Stasis Bomb, just because of the absurd speed I have available to these ships. And what are we looking at here? I just don't want to overshoot and let alone burn my combustion gauge, ideally. But we got a lot of speed, and I'm looking forward to having a nice naval Ferrari to kind of maneuver around a bit. Although, the hard part is actually using them effectively.
The enemy has seized a strategic area. You have seized.
And I don't have extended sensors this time, so I gotta keep that in mind too. Because that felt like a nice convenience, but I don't know if it's the right skill to have. But then again, lances always have a bit of a difficulty on actually getting upgrades that synergize and works with them. And otherwise, I don't want to overburn my combustion gauge. I want to be separate. Actually, again, I should truly commit to this separation. Alright, that could be a problem if those are bombers, but at the same time, if they're bombers, I can outrun them. Well, I can outrun basically anything, let's be honest. I'm not too worried, it's just the real trick is being aware of everything, I suppose. And those are bombers, remember, they go 600 speed, well 650 I suppose now. And I go 720 with the combustion, with all head full. Although, I'm going to commit to my point defense actually being in range first. Now this is where my control really comes into effect. I need to manage these two fleets, and we know we have probably 2 despoilers. And I'm getting confused too, because I'm assuming this is Group 2 and not Group 1. The one that's all by itself. And I don't have detection. Let's see, and I heard a beacon. Where's that going? Let me at least start to engage. And try to do a little bit of damage. I am going to get revealed as soon as I get in, though. Again, got to keep my on bombs and all that. And I am going to get revealed. I did change the lock-on stance to be able to maybe shoot at them freely. Now, with that said, I am burning a lot of my combustion gauge. And we need to fix this in a hurry. That wasn't really a lot of damage, I won't lie. But hopefully the point defense can do what's necessary. Oh, and I have a burning retros too, so my slaughter fleet is not doing a whole lot just yet. Yeah, if only all 3 cruisers were together, maybe this would not be as big of an issue. Now, I'm taking some serious damage there. This is going to take a little bit of work, because now I'm just freely getting shot at. And did I burn all my combustion gauge? Yes, I did. And I would like to grab objectives, too. Oh well, let's just grab this point and work from there, I suppose. Yeah, scanner pulse. Try and get what damage we can. Although, sadly, I have no combustion gauge right now. So these bombs are gonna hurt. I gotta hope I mitigate them really damn well. If I could kill them, that's the best case situation. Killing these bombers are important. Because even if just one of these damn things survive, guess what that means? I am not able to deny them their charge. Nope, they made it alright. They at last survived, but now we have combustion. We are hitting, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. And we are getting some decent shots in. Can we make it work to our advantage? Probably not. Because that's now hitting. I don't have any frigates nearby, so just gotta try and outlast this somehow. Come on, I want you boosting. Take advantage of your speed. And thankfully my opponent's losing control here. I do have a little bit of that going for me, I guess. Engines are back up. We're golden here. And we are going to have a third point in a moment.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
And I did just change stance, so let's kill this thing quickly. At least make it worth my time before I start taking some serious damage. Which is hard to do. Because again, I'm just conveniently revealed as soon as I move out of the asteroid belt or do anything that kind of reveals me. So we're gonna need to kill this fast. Damn it, this is not helping. Now let's get the hell out of here and try this again.
Setting course.
I am taking hits, but at least it's not on the one that's crippled. I have that going for me. If only slightly.
For the War Master. For the ruinous powers.
And again, the promise of Slanesh is not helping all that much either, I suppose. Since I am doing really well at keeping distance, but I could have used it in my attack runs, I suppose, too.
Strategic areas.
For the ruinous powers.
Now, right now, need to try and get a little bit of damage in. I am
The
hitting.
War Master willed.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And sadly, this thing's taking a lot of damage just because of this one cruiser, so let's fix that, shall we? At least make the attempt.
We stand ready. Set engines to full ahead.
And I am going to grab an objective up top, so I have that going for me, I guess. Again,
Orders.
this is a lot of the reason why I like
Retros
having
activated.
my frigates contribute in the combat, since there's a lot of cover to make it easy for my opponent to kind of conceal himself.
Activated. Your orders.
No. You grab that point there. We'll try and keep this going. I have 3 objectives that are 2,
Retros activated.
but I am very likely going to lose ships,
Setting course.
and I need to keep an eye on combustion
Stand
gauge.
ready.
Yeah, this one's about to expend itself. These guys are almost expended.
Reloading ordnance. We stand ready.
How exactly can I engage? Oh, because I overshot on this thing objective 2, but that's not a big deal, I guess.
Enemy ship sighted.
And they are about to reveal me.
As the War Master wills.
They're
The
assault
enemy
boats,
is
but
seizing one of your strategic areas.
I need to figure out which one they're going after, though.
The enemy has seized
So
a
that way I
strategic
know
area.
I'm not taking unnecessary damage. And
You
hell,
have accumulated 50%
maybe,
of strategic
as ridiculous as
points.
it sounds, maybe I should just commit to a close-range firefight.
Activated.
Maybe I'm underestimating the potential of these things.
Setting course.
Although, that may be silly,
We
because
stand ready.
the bombers are a bit of a problem.
Reporting.
Let's experiment. As much as I like to try and commit to a victory, I can dodge that. I'm just concerned about combustion gauge.
We are unstoppable.
Now we have more assault ships.
Powers.
These guys are going in.
Show us our victims. We'll follow your command for now.
The enemy is seizing one
And
of
I
your
want to go after this
strategic
one to
areas.
spoil it here, I think.
Enemy ship sighted.
Can we make it happen?
Slaughter them.
The enemy has seized a strategic
Because
area.
this is kind of what I'm looking for. Try and isolate and
We
punish.
stand ready. Let the galaxy burn.
Now, can we do what's necessary? Because I don't need to turn off the shields.
Reporting.
The fact of the matter is.
To the slaughter.
And of course, doing auto control's not doing me much favors either, because that should have been a serious ram attempt by my opponent. Alright. Did I seriously miss with Slaanesha's promise?
Retros activated.
I know it was really close range, so that probably makes it difficult to do, but still.
I cannot master.
Did I really miss with Slaanesha's promise?
For the War Master.
That was really annoying, because I just burnt a 3-minute cooldown on that.
Reporting.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of
Engines are
strategic
gone,
points.
weapons... It's a repulsive, okay. I thought it was like a battleship at first.
Prepare my ship. Or
Either way,
else.
grab the point,
Reloading ordnance.
finish these off for me, please. I have armor-piercing ammo, so I'm not getting the best value out of it right now.
Your orders.
And I'm getting a little bit lucky, because that repulsive also had torpedoes, keep in mind.
For the dark gods.
And I'm taking a lot of deck damage.
Retros activated.
Gotta watch my health.
Your orders.
Let you grab points for the sake of continuing this on. Oh, and those are only fighters. I don't need to worry about them.
Show us our victims.
They could be a threat later on, though.
You have seized a strategic area.
Again, gotta watch the health of my ships. And ideally, make sure these things are doing their
We'll follow your command.
close range armor-piercing damage,
You
too.
have seized a strategic
At least as best they can.
Reporting. Break them.
Kill the second Grand Cruiser, then we'll focus on... Okay. Oh, I got hit by bombers and I didn't realize. That's unfortunate. But that's dead.
Galaxy burn.
Regardless of all this, that's dead, but
Show us our victims.
I think now you should turn to try and grab objectives.
Retros activated.
At least to help slow the hemetry. Oh, I'm winning right now, so I don't think I need to worry about that. Forget what I said.
We stand
Let's just
ready.
finish off this Grand Cruiser and ideally don't get this thing killed.
We are
It does have shields, but it's likely to die if it stays in close range.
We stand ready. Engines hot.
And I gotta try and thin out those bombers as much as I can.
Moving to those
Try to.
coordinates.
You have accumulated
It is gonna probably die though, but
75%
guess what?
strategic points. You are close to victory
They
by
have only one
strategic
ship left of their
points.
own, so this might survive, just barely, depending how many bombers we get. And no fire assaults.
Show us our victims.
You get back in line, you cursed thing. We are winning right now. I cannot fathom why you would want to mutiny in the middle of victory, but okay. And this time I did use my cursed Celestia's promise properly.
Reporting.
So I guess the moral of this story is I was not using my fleet properly. But it is going to take a little bit of trial and error to at least understand. Because it's not unreasonable to assume this would be embarrassing defeat if that were to fail for me.
Boiling attack successful, Master.
That is game at least. Now, I got a little bit overwhelmed with trying to manage two groups and mixing up which one was which group as well, but that's probably because I've been playing with just fleets that basically want their entire army, or their entire fleet, I suppose. I was trying to come up with a different word for fleet, so, but trying to come up with it's been so long since I've been utilizing fleets that want to stay together, because that way the point defense is stronger, their firepower can focus that much better. And it's still a question if that was the right choice, because I did ultimately group them up to just dive in on them, right? So, there's a bit of learning to be had. Alright, so Drukhari and its Emperor Penguin. So first impressions, I should, in theory, be able to demolish the Drukhari fleet just because of my absurd amount of speed and close-range firepower. Although, if they have impalers, I could have a hard time. And if they are able to reconceal themselves or keep at a safe distance, or most importantly, if I burn my combustion gauge, I am in a little bit of trouble. Because I'm going to need that to pursue my opponent. Because I don't think we're going to be winning this by the objective. And I almost want to start off with Brace for Impact. Because I suspect a bunch of Impalers, ideally. I want... Because... Part of me wants to play the objective game. Because that's how it's kind of... You want to do it for most factions, but we have a absurd amount of speed, and if it wasn't for the fact that I'm gonna need these frigates, I almost would want to not. I don't. There's so many things to consider, like demonic ritual to help deal with troop damage, plasma bomb to help hinder them quickly. Disrupt. What would be good? Sinestha's promise just denies the shadow field once they get in close. Armor piercing is not a big deal here. Siren cannons on the flagship for morale damage. That's not a terrible idea, I suppose. There are so many ways I could approach this. I just want to get into Drukhari's face, I think. I think that's what this all I care about. Start killing these off, and then have our fun. I just gotta make sure I have plenty of emission available or combustion gauge for when we do eventually reveal them. So I'm gonna start off with our left one here. The tricky part is gonna be able to reveal them, because again I'm gonna forfeit the objective quite a bit.
Show us our victims.
And I want to listen for audio cues.
For the War Master.
Is the important thing too.
Reporting. Moving to those coordinates.
Now gotta keep in mind, I am likely gonna get this thing So that's revealed. I want to try and kill it off, ideally. Since there was only 4 ships, keep in mind, that I saw, so if this dies, that helps a lot.
Your orders. Moving to those coordinates.
And I heard a mission dissipator.
Reporting. As the War Master wills. We stand ready.
Alright.
Engines hot.
So I know where the flagship is.
Show us our victims. Setting course.
So can we take advantage of this quickly?
For the ruinous powers. Set engines to full ahead.
And this is invisible right now, or at least it was hidden.
Unstoppable. Reloading ordnance.
Yes, I lose my shields, but that's a small price to pay, I think,
We stand ready.
for what this will give me.
We are unstoppable. Retros activated. As the War Master wills. We stand ready. We'll follow your command. For now. Hold your fire.
Now we gotta try and hit this thing hard.
Setting course. Your
And my opponent wants to kill the flagship, that's a given.
Retros activated. Show us our victims. For the War Master.
Alright. Deny the bombers as much as possible.
Victims. Moving to those coordinates.
Because they're only carrier ships, I have that going for me, right?
Master. We'll follow your command for now. To the slaughter. We'll follow your command for now. We'll follow your command for now.
This is gonna be a messy fight.
I cannot, Master.
Because now that's concealed, but it's also on fire. Okay, I guess we're ramming right now.
Your orders.
Ram, turn around, sure, my shields are down, but that's a small price to pay if for a fleet that relies on bombing right now. Keep that in mind too.
Reporting.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
We've lost a ship. Enemy ship sighted. That's the War Master Wills.
Sadly, I did not get my ramming speed in, but
Stand ready.
I think the flagship's dead at least, so we have that going for me. And I don't know what happened to the rest of the fleet, but the frigate's alive. Yeah,
Boarding attack successful, Master.
I really feel like my 2 frigates are a huge liability there, mainly because they're really cheap and fragile destroyers. But thankfully that gambit paid off. It's a serious question if that's the right choice, though, I won't lie. Because what if I wasn't conveniently did not see the flagship there because they forgot to hold fire? Or they gave it away due to the bombers. I would be out in the middle of nowhere because apparently all the battleships scattered and were trying to grab points behind me after all, so I'm willing to admit maybe I got lucky there, but I was definitely killing their fleets off incredibly well. There was a few opportunities where that could have bit me in the ass leaving that flagship there with the 200 health. Because I panicked and wanted the second frigate to survive, but if that committed, that probably would have just rammed and killed the flagship for me. And part of me was hoping or thinking that the fire assaults actually would have killed it for me too, which sadly did not happen. Alright, the good old rivalry between, was it Slaanesh and Ultramarines. Armor piercing is definitely going to be a factor, but I'm going to suffer heavy amounts of troop damage. So I'm probably going to do Demonic Ritual again just to help slow that hemorrhaging a little bit. Oh boy, is it one of those days? Is there a terrible monster on my backside? We know probably what that uh-oh was supposed to mean. Either way, I am worried for this matchup. At least the boarding damage. I should, under no circumstance, get in point-blank range to avoid a lot of their boarding potential. I guess it's a bit early, I suppose. I guess. I am sorry. But, still, what do I have in mind? I could just forfeit the main points altogether. We'll see. I don't know what to expect. I am not going to be kiting my opponent. I'm not going to be doing that shenanigans. Let's see. And Demonic Ritual may not be all that impactful, but then again, yeah, 3 charges, replacing crew, that's a big deal, I suppose. It's just, I do need to synergize it with Call to Arms if I want that to really last, though. And otherwise, I also would love a Plasma Bomb, I'm not gonna lie. But that's assuming they're using battle barges. And I almost want to argue I don't want a Mission Dissipator. I almost want to argue. But if they're using the Prow Lance strike cruisers, that could be a bit problematic. So far this looks like Battle Barge and the 3 strike cruisers. So let's start taking advantage of this some. And get these ships going at the same time, because I need the detection. And I gotta pay close attention, because micro warp jump is very likely a thing here.
Seized a strategic area.
So I want to engage these strike cruisers while they separate, but you know that's kind of a trap.
Reporting.
So I gotta be ready to disengage, which is what Promise of Slanesh is supposed to help with. Thankfully, I can tell, to an extent, when the micro warp jump's being activated.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Let's see. Those are Thunderhawks. No, they're just fighters, so we are gonna get boring torpedoes here.
Setting course.
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Enemy ship sighted. Enemy ship sighted. Engines hot.
Now we can dodge, and know we're gonna get rammed a bit,
For the dark gods.
which is okay to an extent.
Activated. Enemy ship sighted.
Now, call to arms is a must here.
Coordinates. Your orders.
I'm still waiting for the micro warp jump, but thankfully we're not seeing it yet.
As the War Master wills.
Well,
We stand ready.
so far this is going well. Let's not get too excited yet.
Reporting.
Now this is where I want to be ready with the micro warp jump.
For the War Master. For the ruinous power.
And sadly I did take heavy amounts of boring damage there too.
Your orders. Setting course. For the War Master.
Can we kill this off quickly? Because the flagship's not going to last long, with that said.
Show us our victims. We stand
The
ready.
flagship will die, but hopefully
Slaughter.
we'll do what's necessary. Hopefully the damage will be done that needs to be done. Nope.
Our flagship. is
Deck had to get damaged just as that mutiny took place.
For the War Master. We'll follow your command. For now.
This battle barge can still die incredibly fast, but keep in mind they also have armor piercing.
Coordinates. Show us our victims. Retros activated. Your orders. We
So
are
let's just put these ships to good use, I guess.
engines hot.
At least try to. Battle barge is about to die. Strike cruiser should hopefully die along with my cruiser, or at least the crew.
Engines hot.
And we are in armor piercing range, so finish this thing because it needs to die immediately.
Set engines to full ahead.
I really want to scuttle this. I am tempted to do that, but I don't think it's needed right now.
We stand ready. Retros
Garner Mutiny, that was the cool Exis Assassins doing, though.
Master wills. Reporting.
The enemy is seizing one of your
Now, can this at least
strategic
survive that
areas. The enemy has
explosion?
accumulated 25% of strategic points. You have accumulated
Nope, it did not
50%
survive the
of
explosion,
strategic
but
points.
Set engines to full ahead.
now, we're not out of the woods yet,
To those
but I should
coordinates.
kind of get my morale back up with that said.
Reporting.
And this is only a carrier one, is it? Yeah, this is a carrier ship, so that I could deal with.
For the War Master. To the slaughter.
And Thunderhawks are not the most speedy type of fighter bays, so
Set engines to full ahead.
hopefully I could shoot them down. They are more durable than most.
As the War Master wills.
I did get bored some, but only slightly at least, so that's not a big loss yet.
Follow your command. For now.
Now just gotta kill this thing, which should be easy enough to do, and actually reactivate this ship.
We are
It'd be able to do something useful once it repairs.
Repel that damage at once. Reporting.
And I got the point lead, so I should... No, no group order. Bad. Bad AI.
Engines hot.
That is not what I had in mind.
We stand ready.
So this should be dead now.
Reporting.
Thankfully, I was prepared for the battle barge jumping in and trying to ruin my day, but
Your orders.
sadly my engines had to get damaged, so the flagship was still a sitting duck.
Your orders. As the War Master will.
Oh, and I have a frigate here too. Which, it's just gonna die a horrible death, let's be honest. It's not really gonna win that fight.
To the slaughter.
But, safe to say, we got ourselves a victory at least, so...
We'll follow your command.
No! Run away, run away! At least I go the same speed as you, so see if you can catch me.
Repair my ship or else.
Let's just not ram our own frigate with that said, huh?
Show us our victims.
Alright. So, that's always terrifying, because after all, they are really dangerous at boarding, and I want to get in close. But it worked out, but a lot of that was because I did try to punish the fact that our opponent was going to use micro warp jump, and I was looking for it. Maybe it was a bit delayed longer than my opponent should have, but it still worked out, if only just barely.